What's going on, everybody? It's Super Robot Ed, and today we're going to talk about the Generation Selects G2 Dinobots, G2 SNARL, and G2 SLAG, or SLUG, whichever one you want to call them. I only know them as SLAG. So as far as I know from the wiki, during the second wave in 1993, we got the Dinobots, a Grimlock in blue or turquoise, we got SLAG in green or red, and we got SNARL in red or green. So these were some of the festive colors that came out during that time. And, a lot of people like those colors because a lot of let's just say in 92, 93, I was about 19, 20 years old. So I was done playing with toys back then. I really was not into toys. So my little cousins had a chance to get like Dinobots and things like that they couldn't get because they were either very young or some cases weren't even here yet. Some of my little cousins were like 8 or 9 years old. So they weren't born. A lot of them weren't here in '84 to get the original Transformers. So to see them getting their Transformers, but in different colors for them, brighter colors, it kind of attracted them. Like, ooh, where for us, Grimlock was more silver and the original colors and maybe in a sense drab, but our connection to it has a lot to do with the cartoon. Whereas a kid, they just see a toy and it's got different colors. They've never seen the cartoon, but it does something that still was kind of effective back then. Because remember, we got into Power Rangers that same year, and what was combining Megazords, joint Katai, as you want to call it. So yeah, it still had its legs, but without a cartoon or really, well, it did have a cartoon, but something that we had that we were growing up with. So when they came up with these new colors, for a lot of the maybe older people like my age, we kind of just laughed at it like, oh, now they done made it kidified. We kind of figured that was the case. But for the kids that actually picked these up, these were their first Transformers. That's right. That was that time in the early 90s where a lot of people, there was a segment of my fan base, your fan base, if you're a YouTuber, that actually came in right at the G2 era. So you got to give props to all the colors. Now, like I said, I'm going to say I'm not a G1er. We had different colors. I remember my friend had the black sideswipe with the new kind of like those, green and blue weapons. I thought that was pretty cool. But at the same time, he had Jazz, and Jazz also had those weird weapons. And I didn't like that. I prefer the weapons that came with the original, G1 Jazz. So that's just me rambling because we don't really got into the talk about. We got another video that's going to come out. Get ready for the live stream today from Hasbro. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. Are you ready for these? Or are you not? This is Super Robot Ed, bringing more news reveals to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.